Have you ever thought about using debt to get rich? A provocative question, isn't it? We've always been taught to avoid debt like the plague, but what if I told you there's a different perspective? A perspective that challenges traditional views and encourages you to leverage debt to your advantage. Intrigued? Well, you should be. Stick with us and discover how one man, Robert Kiyosaki, used this unconventional strategy to amass his wealth. Meet Robert Kiyosaki, a man who went from nothing to becoming a multimillionaire. Born into a humble household in Hawaii, Kiyosaki's early life was far from the opulence he enjoys today. His journey was one of struggle, persistence, and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. In his quest for financial freedom, Kiyosaki stumbled upon a secret weapon, the art of using debt to generate wealth. This unconventional approach turned his life around, catapulting him from obscurity to international renown. But Kiyosaki didn't keep this knowledge to himself. He penned down his insights and experiences in his best-selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book, filled with nuggets of financial wisdom, broke new ground by challenging traditional views on money and investment. It ignited conversations around the globe, inspiring millions to rethink their financial strategies. Kiyosaki's journey is a testament to the power of financial education and a different perspective on debt. Kiyosaki's perspective on debt is as unique as his journey. In a world where debt is often seen as a four-letter word, Robert Kiyosaki turns the traditional view on its head. He doesn't just view debt as a necessary evil, but rather as a powerful tool. And that's where the concept of good debt and bad debt comes into play. To Kiyosaki, bad debt is something that drags you down. It's the credit card bills from shopping sprees, the high-interest car loans, and the personal loans spent on vacations. These are the debts that keep you working around the clock, trying to stay afloat. They are liabilities that don't bring any return on investment, but rather deplete your resources and hinder your financial growth. On the other hand, good debt is the kind that puts money into your pocket. It's the mortgage on a rental property that brings in steady income, the loan for a business venture that promises high returns, or the student loan for a degree that opens doors to well-paying jobs. These are debts that, while you might have to pay interest on them, they generate income or increase in value over time, providing a positive return on your investment. Kiyosaki's unique perspective unravels the age-old myth that all debt is detrimental. He encourages us to see debt not just as a burden but as a leverage. The idea is to strategically use other people's money to generate wealth rather than letting your own money sit idle. It's about taking calculated risks and making money work for you rather than you working for money. But remember, this isn't about recklessly plunging into debt. It's about understanding the difference between good and bad debt and leveraging the good debt to create wealth. It's about financial education and smart decision-making. In Kiyosaki's world, not all debts are created equal, and understanding this is the first step to financial freedom. Now that we understand Kiyosaki's perspective, let's delve into the key points of using debt to get rich. First things first, you need to invest in assets. Assets are things that put money into your pocket. They could be real estate properties, businesses, stocks, bonds, or even intellectual properties. The idea is to use debt to acquire these assets. For example, you might take out a mortgage to buy a rental property. The rent you collect each month covers your mortgage payment and puts extra cash in your pocket. That's how you use debt to make money. Next, it's crucial to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. This is where many people get tripped up. They think their home is an asset when in reality it's a liability. Why? Because it takes money out of their pocket each month in the form of mortgage payments, taxes, and maintenance costs. An asset, on the other hand, generates income. So if you're going to go into debt, make sure it's to acquire assets, not liabilities. Finally, leverage good debt to generate passive income. What's good debt? It's debt used to invest in assets that generate income. This income can then be used to pay off the debt. It's a cycle that, when managed correctly, can lead to wealth accumulation. Consider this. You take out a loan to buy a rental property. The rent you collect each month not only covers your loan payment but also leaves you with extra cash. That's passive income. Over time, as you pay off the loan, you own more of the property outright. Eventually, you own the entire property, and all the income it generates is yours to keep. That's how you use good debt to get rich. Remember, the idea isn't to avoid debt entirely, but to use it strategically. It's about understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt and knowing how to leverage the former to your advantage. These strategies, if used wisely, can turn debt into a powerful tool for wealth creation. So, there you have it. Debt, often seen as a burden, can be a ladder to wealth if used wisely. Let's take a moment to revisit the wisdom of Robert Kiyosaki. He's not your average financial guru. Kiyosaki has a unique perspective, viewing debt as a tool rather than a trap. His approach challenges traditional thinking, urging us to see not just the risks, but also the potential rewards of debt. He emphasizes the importance of financial education, encouraging us to learn how to use debt to our advantage. The key here is to distinguish between good debt and bad debt. Good debt puts money in your pocket while bad debt takes it out. It's about using borrowed money to invest in assets that generate income, essentially making your money work for you. But remember, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, it's a strategy, a different way of thinking that requires understanding, discipline, and careful management. It's about challenging the status quo, questioning our ingrained beliefs about debt, and exploring new pathways to wealth. So don't stop here. Continue your financial education. Keep learning, keep questioning, keep challenging. Be brave enough to see the potential where others see only pitfalls. Remember, changing your perspective can change your financial future. So, start thinking differently about debt, just like Robert Kiyosaki.